Hi Queens! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Vanna Renee Graham and welcome if this is your first time here. Welcome. Today we are diving into some Fenty products. I have so many Fenty products here. So much Fenty that I'm going to be demonstrating for you guys today, but the star of the show is the new Fenty Hydration Foundation, which I'm very excited to try. Rihanna's always coming out with something new. She's always having enough shades for everyone. She's just always doing it for everyone. That's one thing I have to say about her brand. I love Fenty. Pretty much all the products I'm going to be using on my face are going to be Fenty related. Anything that's not Fenty will obviously be addressed throughout the look. So if you want to hear my take on the new Fenty foundation, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I already filled in my brow, and for primer we are using the Fenty Pro Filter Soft Matte Primer, and I didn't get the hydrating one because I already have oily skin, and not to say that it's gonna make me oily, but still I'm just like, I just didn't want to chance it. Maybe I'll go back and pick it up. But yeah, so we're going in with this primer, and I've never used this primer before, but I wonder if it's going to make the foundation hold up for longer, since this is like more of a matte primer. Okay, so let's jump straight into foundation. So this is what it looks like. I know you guys have probably seen it everywhere. It does come with a pump for it to be a squeezy tube. With a pump makes it easier for travel. So the claims for this foundation is that it is hydrating, medium to full coverage for all skin tones, long wearing, and light as air. So let's see if that is true. I am going to be taking the Wet n Wild brush, and I got the shade 420. I have been between, it seems like the Sephora by my job sometimes just don't know what they're talking about. So I had to exchange my regular foundation like 3 times. And I'm like, no, this is my shade. No, honey, it's not. Well, guess what it turned out to be, what I said. So yeah, we're just gonna squirt. Did I get a broken one? So we're just gonna take a pump. It doesn't seem to be watery. And then we're just gonna blend this. I'm gonna start with this side because this is more of my problem area right now. Since I've given up dairy, my skin is like freaking out. The first thing I noticed is when you do apply this foundation, it does give like a cooling effect. So it's like, that's pretty cool. I've never felt that before. This is definitely not full coverage, but you can always just go in with another pump. Okay, so I have the foundation on. One of the first things I noticed about the foundation is it does give you an actual shine. Like, it makes it look like your skin, but better. Honestly, even though it says medium coverage, in my opinion, if you like full coverage, all you have to do is go back over it with an extra pump. Like, that's pretty much it. Like, I actually for so far am liking how this foundation applies, how it's laying, how it does actually, if I go over it with the extra pump, how it actually does cover up any of my hyperpigmentation. So yeah, the next thing I'm going to go in with is the Fenty concealer in the shade 390. And then just to bring a little bit of yellow into that concealer, I'm going to use the shade Fawn and mix that in. I used the concealers before, and honestly, I like how they apply. I like the coverage it gives you. A little bit goes a long way. You don't have to really go too heavy with the concealer, even though I know I look crazy. And then to blend out my concealer, I'm going to use my Real Techniques brush and my Real Techniques sponge. I just like to spray the sponge with some of the Morphe setting spray. and blend this out. Okay, so for contouring, I don't have another concealer to do like a cream contour first, so I'm just going to use the Anastasia in Cool Earth. And then I'm going to blend that out with my number 4 brush from BH Cosmetics. Okay, so now that I have that all blended out, okay, so I recently, I purchased her powder previously, and I did not like the banana shade. I did not like how it looked. So I went and exchanged it for the honey shade. So this is going to be the first time I try this out as well. But the honey shade does look more golden for me. Oh, this looks nice. Compared to like, it's just a little bit darker than my Sacha Buttercup. Well, it's extremely darker than my Sacha Buttercup, but I'm still going to try to use it. I'm just going to take my damp sponge, and then I'm going to go over the places that I put the concealer. And honestly, one of the things I do like about this foundation is sometimes when I use a foundation that's dewy and I apply different products on top of it, it just looks like the foundation just wipes off. Like it doesn't even stay on. So normally when I use a hydrating, well, this is not dewy, this is hydrating, but if I did use a foundation that was geared more for people who had dry skin, I would try to use majority all powder products and no other cream products except for my concealer. So now that I have that patted in, I'm going to take my powder and just press it in to get off the excess, and then press it into my skin. Okay, I'm loving the powder. I love how everything looks once it's set. It looks really nice, and honestly, it mattified down very quickly. My nose is a little shiny, but that's because I forgot to put primer on my nose. So that's my fault. That's not the foundation. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bake with this powder now. This is the first time I actually smelled the fragrance. I didn't know what that was, but yeah, her product does have a fragrance in it, but for me, it's not terrible. Okay, so while that's sitting, I'm going to go in with bronzer. And the Fenty bronzer I have is Mocha Mommy. And it has like the Fenty Beauty logo in the middle. And I'm going to use my Morphe M527 brush. Okay, so I have two highlighters. I have the Trophy Wipe highlighter that's like super bright. And then I also have the Penny For You Thoughts highlighter. And this is what they both look like. I'm going to spray my face first, but just so you guys know, if you do not put a primer on, I'm noticing that the foundation is breaking up on my nose because I did not put a primer on. So that's just something to beware about, but I should put on primer on my nose. Okay, so now that I have everything on, I'm just gonna hop off camera real quick and do my eyes, and then we're gonna talk about the product, and then I'm gonna do a wear test for you guys. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, I am back and I got a full face on. What I want to do is like a wear test. It is now 4:36 in the afternoon, and I pretty much want to keep the foundation on till like around 7 o'clock, 7:30. To me, that gives me a decent wear test time to determine on if I really like the foundation or if I don't like the foundation. One thing that I am noticing about the foundation is that if you do not put a primer underneath, I don't have, I'm starting to lose a lot of foundation on my nose. So that's just a warning. Put primer on your nose. I should have did that. Forgot. Other than that, I'm really liking how my skin looks. It doesn't look dewy. It just looks hydrated. And to me, that's part of the claims of the foundation. So she's definitely, I mean, Rihanna is pretty much always dead on when it comes to her products, it seems like. She's always being very inclusive. She always makes sure she has enough shades for everyone, and that's one thing I love about Fenty and love what her brand represents is beauty for everyone. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check back in with you guys around 7:30 with my final. Okay, update time. So I'm back. It is now 7:58, almost 8 o'clock, and I've had this foundation on since 1. And honestly, from what it looks like, this is what I would expect from any of my foundations. For me to have a little bit of shine, to be a little bit oily by this time. It's time to take it off. I want to try the Fenty mattifying primer. I mean, not mattifying. The powder, to see if it's going to matte, take away some of the shine. Okay, so that's all I had to pretty much do, is to apply some of this powder. Honestly, my face looked just as fresh as it did when I first applied it. So I would just have to say that I honestly like the foundation. I more lean towards matte products, but I can honestly say this is a hydrating foundation that I actually like. I feel like I can use this on any occasion, and if for some reason I felt like I was getting a little bit too shiny, I could just go on over with some powder. It didn't do anything different, honestly. The only thing that's different between this foundation and this foundation is that with this foundation I can stay matte a little bit longer, and then eventually I would get to that point of needing to blot or needing to do something to get rid of the shininess. But this just happens a little bit quicker. But I do love how it makes your skin, how it looks like your skin, but better. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are my final thoughts. I love Rihanna. Congratulations on the launch. I think this is a great product. I think this is something that everyone should have, and especially if you are not a heavy foundation person, if you don't like a lot of feeling like you have makeup on, this is definitely the foundation for you. You can use it, to me, as a BB cream, because if you go in with one layer, it's not going to give you the full coverage. So to me, it could be used as a foundation and or a BB cream. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys like it. I really think you guys should go out and try this foundation. Also, if you are a person that has oily skin like myself, I would try to do the combination with this primer and this foundation, because I do feel like the primer has something to do with the foundation holding up. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye.